Are you the outdoorsy type? Do you thrive in nature? Or are you like us and scream, "What the f*** was that?" every time a leaf gently brushes against a twig? Because here's what we know. Castles have Draculas, remote science outposts have things, the sewers have its, and maybe CHUDs.
Cannibalistic, humanoid, underground dwellers.
The hills have eyes, hell has Cenobites, New York has Kongs, and the woods have Jasons. That's right, Jasons are all up in them forests, just hacking and slashing their way through campers, hikers, paintballers, skinny dippers, and anyone who's ever said, "Hey, you know what's fun? Being cold and vulnerable near some trees." And that is why Jason Voorhees, the Crystal Lake Killer, is the greatest movie maniac of all time. And also, kind of a hero. The people's slasher, if you will. The uncrowned champion of indoor kids everywhere. In the realm of horror, Jason is the main event, the headliner, the marquee monster. With his effortlessly famous look, which includes a hockey mask and a machete and sometimes maybe hair, Jason is known all over the world, even to non-horror fans. Show someone a hockey mask and they're not going to say, "That reminds me of Olympic gold medalist goalie Jim Craig." They're going to say, "Oh, that's the swampy guy who kills all the teenagers. We love him, specifically because of the teenager killing." Yep, Jason slaughters teens in all their short-sighted, horny glory. Teens having the sex, teens taking a nap, teens doing handstands, teens listening to Ed Sheeran. Even future teens in outer space. Yes, there's no part of the timeline where Jason won't stick a sharp implement into a young adult. And because of that rather warped resume, over his 3 decades at the multiplex, Jason became the character you rooted for in his movies. So much so that when it finally came time for him to fight Freddy Krueger in 2003's Freddy vs. Jason, Jason was kinda the good guy. Yes, despite him killing an entire cornfield full of youths. Look, Freddy was tricking him, everyone, pretending to be his mom in hell. It was a whole mom in hell thing. Jason's just a puppy dog.
Make them remember what fear tastes like!
Actually, scratch that. Jason's a cat because, just like cats, Jellicle Jason hates closed doors. This rum-tum ripper can't stand being on the wrong side of any wall, window, or threshold. Like his Crystal Lake realtor knows, Jason prefers an open-concept home and an open-casket funeral. Back in 1980, a couple of years after the staggering success of John Carpenter's Halloween, Sean Cunningham's Friday the 13th capitalized on the Michael Myers craze, with the story of some camp counselors, "Oh my god, that's Kevin Bacon," in New Jersey being systematically skewered. Kevin Bacon. By a woman seeking revenge for the death of her son, Jason. See, decades earlier, some randy counselors were making sweet, sweet amore and failed to save Jason from drowning in Crystal Lake. Now, and forevermore, irresponsibly aroused adolescents would pay. After delivering one of the biggest horror jump scares in history, at the end of the first movie, seriously, it still f***s people up today, Jason as a backwoods brute took over as the killer in the series. He'd first wear a burlap sack with one eye hole, like some guy invited to a costume party at the last minute who tries to be all, "I'm Mike Wazowski," before graduating to the hockey mask in the third movie. So, just when the filmmakers were considering wrapping things up for real, they struck gold with a legendary look that would forever change the horror game. And, despite Jason being killed by Corey Feldman in the fourth movie, like, dead, full stop, the property was too popular to put to bed. And when horror started going the supernatural route in the mid-80s, Jason did too, and got brought back to life as a near-unstoppable zombie for several more sequels where he battled a telekinetic girl, went on a cruise, visited Times Square, got blown up by the FBI, killed virtual teens on a spaceship holodeck, and clashed with Krueger. Yes, Jason was now the 10-10 book series of slasher cinema. Without Jason, there'd be no cabin in the woods cliche. The machete would just be something your mildly upsetting cousin bought at that mall with the weird smell and carried around for no reason. Hockey mask would create mild feelings of indifference instead of terror. And the only thing people would fear in the woods would be gross teenagers. Listen, someone even put a chained up Jason statue at the bottom of Crystal Lake in Minnesota. I don't know about you, but I don't see any statues of Freddy outside of a mattress store or Leatherface next to, I don't know, your mom's house. And that is why Jason Voorhees is the greatest slasher of all time. So what do you think? Is Jason the greatest slasher of all time? We just said yes, he was. Be sure to let us know what you think, and also check out why Chucky just might be the true victor in this battle of the slashers, or is it Michael Myers? And don't forget to like and subscribe to IGN after you buy your machete at the mall.